Good morning, everybody, and Shabbat Shalom from Jerusalem. So this week we begin a new book in the Torah, the book of Leviticus, Vayikra, as we call it. We finished the book of Exodus and we're moving on to Leviticus. And the very first word in this book of Leviticus, where it gets the Hebrew name from, which is Vayikra, it says that God called out to Moses. And if you look in a Torah scroll, in an actual real Torah scroll, you'll notice that the Aleph, the last letter, Aleph, of that word Vayikra, is always written in a very small font compared to the rest of the letters in the Torah scroll. And commentaries have been discussing this small Aleph, this peculiar little small Aleph, for thousands of years. It's a great topic to look into on your own and maybe prepare for Shabbat. I'll tell you one thing that I've thought about and seen discussed before, and that is that, people expect God to be involved in the big things in life, the wars that are going on in this world with crazy things, COVID, pandemics, global pandemics, but we also have to understand, sometimes we forget, that Hashem calls out to us in the little small moments of our lives also. And in fact, really, it's those small moments, how we respond in a situation with a spouse, or how we react when we're alone with ourselves or with another person, has so much to do with Hashem's involvement, with God's involvement in our lives. It's not only the big world events that Hashem calls out to humanity from, but it's also those little moments. And it's something that we all have to remember and understand. Rabbi Twersky used to always say that God is always calling out to us in every moment of our lives. The problem is that He calls out in a whisper. And sometimes there's so much noise and so much going on in our lives that we can't hear it. So we need to learn from this week's Parsha, Vayikra, with the small little Aleph, that Hashem calls out to us in these little moments. And all He wants from us is to make incremental steps toward Him, small commitments to improve ourselves, to be more committed to our spiritual lives. And that's what really Hashem is looking for. Spiritual growth takes place not in these huge watershed moments of our lives, but in the little moments, in those small situations. So the book of Vayikra, the book of Leviticus, that we're going to begin reading this week, which is all about the little details of how to serve Hashem through our service in the temple, and the little minute details, they all make a very, very big difference. And they contribute towards the mission of the Jewish people to bring God's awareness into this world. So may we hear the small Aleph in our lives loud and clear in those moments where Hashem is with us, even when it might not feel like it. And may we listen and hear that whisper, which, by the way, Shabbat is great for. Because on Shabbat, all that noise that goes on, that usually comes from our phones and our computers and all the other technology in our lives that have robbed us of tranquility and peace of mind, they're all shut off on Shabbos. It all quiets down. And if you listen carefully, you can hear Hashem's whisper. Wishing everybody a Shabbat Shalom from Yerushalayim. Good Shabbos.